The first insight is to do with focus. What you need to know is that there are two domains of control. Passively, we call this freedom. This is your domain of control. You are the I. This is my domain of control. I am the other. And you and I can have a confrontation. So this is your territory. This is my territory. There's nothing to be found for you here. And why is that? Well, you cannot want something for someone else. Wanting is a verb that only applies to your own territory. Your core values don't necessarily match the values of others, and you can't take action on their behalf either. Be willing to take action is a choice only they themselves can make. Therefore, always focus on your own territory, as trying to shape someone else's domain doesn't work. If you do it anyway, you'll start rambling. See the resemblance? Talking about the same problem over and over again. You'll keep thinking in circles because you're ignoring the action you need to take within your own territory. What you need to learn is to snap yourself awake and transfer your focus and talent much sooner to your own domain of control and take action there. This is the only territory that has been given to you by birth, so you can sow and harvest all the things you think are important. Now, sometimes the other is a situation instead of a confrontation with another person. For example, a dismissal or a job application you're no longer in control of. What you then can do is focus on taking action again. Instead of waiting, apply spontaneously somewhere else. Now, if you keep focusing on the domain of control of the other, you become a control freak. However, if you train yourself to focus on your own domain of control in each confrontation and situation, you become in control of yourself. And in this state of mind, you completely understand what it means to let go and to accept. A lot of people think these are synonyms, but they're not. Letting go refers to your own domain of control, and accepting refers to the domain of control of the other. Now, letting go is only possible if you let go of your ego in order to implement the lesson learned in your future actions with self-improvement as a logical outcome. As long as you fail to push aside your ego and implement lessons learned, you'll keep on rambling, which is a very uncomfortable feeling of restlessness. Now, accepting means that you realize you cannot want something for someone else, and that you accept this fact. As I mentioned earlier, you cannot impose your values on others, and you can't take action on their behalf either. If you fully accept this fact, you'll never create expectations about others. This way, you don't create disappointments either. You fully understand that what others do is their responsibility and their future. And you also understand that you're not responsible for their happiness either. Which, by the way, doesn't mean that you shouldn't be generous, loving, kind, and helpful. It just means that adults make decisions for which they themselves are responsible. This contains a duty towards yourself, but also a right to freedom. If people are wasting their lives, in your opinion, it's their legitimate right to do so. The only thing you decide is whether you want to fill your precious time with such relationships or conversations. Now, in the story of the control freak also lies the cause of playing the role of a victim. Look how good I am and how bad the others are. For example, I work so hard and I get paid peanuts. Do something about it. Educate yourself, tell your boss, and if necessary, change your job. Or, my friends are unreliable and they never call me. Do something about it. Make your life more interesting. Follow a course or pursue a hobby. Chances are high that you end up in a lake full of salmon. People with similar values as yours. Here you will also find the cause of stress. A lack of assertiveness. Being assertive means that you can say no without regret or guilt feeling. So you can say yes with all your heart. If you have a lack of assertiveness, then you will ignore the steps you need to take within your own territory. Instead, you will give a lot of forced yeses and therefore doing a lot of things you really don't want to do. And this leads to stress. In terms of assertiveness though, everyone has the same responsibilities. It's your responsibility to clearly indicate your boundaries. And we do that with the word no. This is very important because people will go that far as you let them to. Nature even provides us with this skill already from the time we are 2 years old. And it's also your responsibility to accept, you see, the boundaries, so the no's of others. This also means, and now we come to a very important insight, that you should accept the no's to your no. For example, sighs, eye rolling, yes but is a hidden no, anger, all internal conflicts of the other, not yours. They too need to learn to accept the boundaries, the no's of others, and in this case, your no. And if they don't accept it, it's not your call to change that, because that's impossible. You cannot want something for them. And never do things for the eye of the other. So no external look. Your eyes are meant to see where to put your feet, where to find food, and to help those in need. For everything else, your view as an adult should be internally. Revenge, honor, prestige, pride are not a stable foundation to build a house on. One big setback and your house of cards falls apart with shame as your deputy. Because shame is the flip side of these unstable ingredients. If you keep thinking using those ingredients, you'll be ashamed to make mistakes. This way, you create fear to fail, which blocks your personal growth tremendously. So, who's the peacock without his tail? Do things because you like doing them, with passion, based on your values and for your eyes only. Don't put pressure on yourself. This way you keep taking action towards the next step. So do things with an internal look. Only what you think is important. And this brings us to the insight of level 2. Self-esteem. Who are you naked? Let's find out in the next video.